Hey you guys, my name is Emily Osborne, and today I would like to talk to you guys about raising the prices of minimum wage for my persuasive speech. Minimum wage is a great number for those who start out right out of high school, or if they're just starting out and getting a job for the first time. It may seem like it's a great number. While in that case it is, it's not a great start for someone who has a family. And for someone who has kids, especially when they've been working another job and they've been making more money than minimum wage for so long, and then they lose that job and start out at minimum wage and only make $50 a week, it really kills the bills. My mom worked for more than minimum wage for a really long time, and then when COVID hit, her job, she got laid off, and she had to get a minimum wage job, and was only making $50 a week. Well, the time that she worked at this job, making only that much money, it made it hard for all of us to have our bills paid and everything else. She worked so hard to try to make it work, and the bills the $50 a week for minimum wage just weren't covering the bills. Minimum wage needs to be raised because $8.75 an hour isn't something you can live off of if you have a family, even if it is full-time. It makes it difficult with all the living expenses and with all the bills that people have. And if you have more than one kid, it just makes it harder to provide for that family. And it makes it harder for everything that you go through. A lot of people do support minimum wage, and that's okay. Like I said, it's great for those that are just starting out, like going out of high school, getting a job, or just starting out and getting a job, period. It's great because it helps. But at the same time, it doesn't help families. According to thesimpledollar.com, the U.S. actually can afford to up minimum wage costs. They can actually go up almost $4 more on the hour, and it wouldn't hurt anything. Especially since we've all seen that due to COVID, we got the stimulus checks. It wouldn't hurt the U.S. at all to go up more on minimum wage than what it is now. Every state has a different minimum wage rate. West Virginia's is really low compared to other states, and the cost of living in West Virginia isn't as much as other states, but due to COVID and coal mines shutting down, West Virginia's cost of living has gone up more. As you can see from this pie chart that I have, the cost of living it's gone up a lot. Like, just for food and drinks, it's $593 a week. That's a lot compared to what it used to be. And rent is $567. Like, we could just go with, if we could just have a little bit more on the hour with minimum wage, it would work out just fine. If minimum wage costs did go up, it would actually reduce the poverty rate that we have here in West Virginia, as well as it'll reduce the rate of all the citizens leaving West Virginia, trying to find better money, trying to find better jobs. Like, with the reducing poverty, we could have emergency funds set up or we could actually make more on the hour to where our bills will get paid and people don't become homeless from losing their homes or whatever for minimum wage, because $8.25 just doesn't cut it. As I said before, our state minimum wage is probably a lot less than other state minimum wages, but that just goes to show that the U.S. can't afford to up our minimum wage, because we're a smaller state, but New York's got a really good minimum wage rate. Ohio's minimum wage is higher than us. Minimum wage just needs to be up so every person working can get the things that they need. The minimum wage rate in West Virginia is doubled in other states, which is why most people leave here. And if people keep leaving and keep going and keep leaving and everything else, they just won't. This state will keep going down and down until eventually it won't be anything. The same as if you have a coal miner who loses his job, he's used to making almost triple minimum wage, going down to minimum wage. You can't live on that. My dad's a coal miner, and if he lost his job and had to start working a minimum wage job, he couldn't support his family. He makes triple minimum wage on his payday every payday, and like all the bills and stuff, it's still a struggle sometimes. So imagine going from that pay to $8.25 an hour and trying not to struggle from that. Yeah, right now, COVID added on $1, $2 to everybody's pay for hazard pay. But when COVID goes away, or if COVID goes away, or when it becomes a satisfied normal to where we're not scared of it anymore, that hazard pay will go away, and then you're just stuck. So I think minimum wage needs to be increased so families can afford the things that they need, and so West Virginia can stay afloat and poverty doesn't take over. Thank you guys for your time, and Merry Christmas.